and they were amazed. He rose, he is not here.
Today's reading from the Old Testament, Numbers chapter 14, verse 22 through chapter 15, verse 30. For all the men who are seeing my glory and my signs, which I have done in Egypt and in the wilderness, and try me these 10 times, and have not listened to my voice, they do not see the land which I have sworn to their fathers. Indeed, none of those despising me see it. But my servant Caleb, because there has been another spirit with him, and he is fully after me, I have brought him into the land to where he has entered, and his seed possesses it. And the Amalekite and the Canaanite are dwelling in the valley. Tomorrow, turn and journey for yourselves into the wilderness, the way of the Red Sea. And Yahweh speaks to Moses and Aaron, saying, Until we do I bear with this evil congregation, they who are murmuring against me, the murmurings of the sons of Israel, which they are murmuring against me, I have heard. Say to them, as I live, a declaration of Yahweh, if, as you have spoken in my ears, do I not do so to you? Your carcasses fall in this wilderness, even all your numbered ones, to all your number, from a son of 20 years and upward, who have murmured against me. You do not come into the land for which I have lifted up my hand to cause you to dwell in it, except Caleb son of Jephunneh and Joshua son of Nun. As for your infants, of whom you have said, they become a spoil, I have even brought them in, and they have known the land which you have kicked against. As for you, your carcasses fall in this wilderness. And your sons are shepherding in the wilderness for 40 years, and have borne your whoredoms until your carcasses are consumed in the wilderness. By the number of the days in which you spied out the land, 40 days, a day for a year, you bear your iniquities for 40 years, and you have known my opposition. I, Yahweh, have spoken. If nonetheless I do this to all this evil congregation who are meeting against me, they are consumed in this wilderness, and there they die. Then the men whom Moses had sent to spy out the land, who then return and cause all the congregation to murmur against him by bringing out an evil account concerning the land, even the men bringing out an evil account of the land, they die by the plague before Yahweh. And Joshua son of Nun and Caleb son of Jephunneh have lived of those men who go to spy out the land. And Moses speaks these words to all the sons of Israel, and the people mourn exceedingly. And they rise early in the morning and go up to the top of the mountain, saying, Here we are, and we have come up to the place which Yahweh has spoken of, for we have sinned. And Moses says, Why is it that you are transgressing the command of Yahweh, for it does not prosper? Do not go up, for Yahweh is not in your midst, and you are not struck before your enemies. For the Amalekite and the Canaanite are there before you, and you have fallen by the sword, because that you have turned back from Yahweh, and Yahweh is not with you. And they presume to go up to the top of the mountain, but the ark of the covenant of Yahweh and Moses have not departed out of the midst of the camp. And the Amalekite and the Canaanite who are dwelling in that mountain come down and strike them, and beat them down to Hormah. And Yahweh speaks to Moses, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and you have said to them, When you come into the land of your dwellings, which I am giving to you, then you have prepared a fire offering to Yahweh, a burnt offering or a sacrifice for separating a vow or free will offering, or in your appointed things to make a refreshing fragrance to Yahweh, out of the herd or out of the flock. And he who is bringing his offering near to Yahweh has brought a present near of a 10th part of flour mixed with the 4th of the hin of oil. And you prepare a 4th of the hin of wine for a drink offering, with the burnt offering, or for the sacrifice for one lamb. Or for a ram you prepare a present of 2 10th parts of flour mixed with a 3rd of the hin of oil. And you bring a 3rd part of the hin of wine near for a drink offering, a refreshing fragrance to Yahweh. And when you make a son of the herd a burnt offering or a sacrifice for separating a vow or peace offerings to Yahweh, then he is brought near for the son of the herd a present of 3/10 parts of flour mixed with a half of the hin of oil. And you bring a half of the hin of wine near for a drink offering, for a fire offering of refreshing fragrance to Yahweh. Thus it is done for one ox, or for one ram, or for a lamb of the sheep or of the goats. According to the number that you prepare, so you do to each according to their number. Every native does thus with these, for bringing a fire offering near of refreshing fragrance to Yahweh. And when a sojourner sojourns with you, or whoever is in your midst throughout your generations, and he has made a fire offering of refreshing fragrance to Yahweh, as you do, so he does. One statute is for you of the congregation and for the sojourner who is sojourning, a continuous statute throughout your generations, as you are, so is the sojourner before Yahweh. One law and one ordinance is for you and for the sojourner who is sojourning with you. And Yahweh speaks to Moses, saying, Speak to the sons of Israel, and you have said to them, in your coming into the land to where I am bringing you in, then it has been in your eating of the bread of the land, you raise up a raised offering to Yahweh. You raise up a cake of the first of your dough as a raised offering, as the raised offering of a threshing floor, so you raise it up. You give to Yahweh from the first of your dough as a raised offering throughout your generations. And when you err and do not do all these commands which Yahweh has spoken to Moses, the whole that Yahweh has charged on you by the hand of Moses from the day that Yahweh has commanded and from now on throughout your generations, then it has been, if from the eyes of the congregation it has been done through ignorance, that all of the congregation has prepared one bullock, a son of the herd, for a burnt offering, for refreshing fragrance to Yahweh, and its present and its drink offering, according to the ordinance, and one kid of the goats for a sin offering. And the priest has made atonement for all the congregation of the sons of Israel, and it has been forgiven them, for it is ignorance. And they have brought in their offering, a fire offering to Yahweh, and their sin offering before Yahweh, for their ignorance. And it has been forgiven to all the congregation of the sons of Israel, and to the sojourner who is sojourning in their midst, for that all the people did it through ignorance. And if one person sins through ignorance, then he has brought a female goat near, daughter of a year, for a sin offering. And the priest has made atonement for the person who is erring in his sinning through ignorance before Yahweh, by making atonement for him, and it has been forgiven him. One law is for yourselves, for the native among the sons of Israel, and for the sojourner who is sojourning in their midst, for him who is doing anything through ignorance. And the person who does evil with the high hand of the native or of the sojourner, he is reviling Yahweh, and that person has been cut off from the midst of his people. Today's reading from the New Testament, Mark chapter 15, verse 37 through chapter 16, verse 11. And Jesus, having uttered a loud cry, yielded the spirit. And the veil of the temple was torn in two from top to bottom. And the centurion who was standing opposite him, having seen that having so cried out, he yielded the spirit, said, Truly, this man was the Son of God. And there were also women beholding far off, among whom was also Mary the Magdalene, and Mary of James the Less, and of Joseph and Salome, who also, when he was in Galilee, were following him and were ministering to him, and many other women who came with him to Jerusalem. And now evening having come, seeing it was the preparation, that is, before Sabbath, Joseph of Arimathea, an honorable counselor, who also himself was waiting for the kingdom of God, came, boldly entered into Pilate, and asked for the body of Jesus. And Pilate wondered if he were already dead, and having called near the centurion, questioned him if he were long dead. And having known it from the centurion, he granted the body to Joseph. And he, having brought fine linen, and having taken him down, wrapped him in the linen, and laid him in a tomb that had been hewn out of a rock. And he rolled a stone to the door of the tomb. And Mary the Magdalene and Mary of Joseph were beholding where he is laid. And the Sabbath having passed, Mary the Magdalene and Mary of James and Salome bought spices, that having come they may anoint him. And early in the morning of the first day of the weeks, they came to the tomb at the rising of the sun. And they said among themselves, Who will roll away the stone out of the door of the tomb for us? And having looked, they see that the stone has been rolled away, for it was very great. And having entered into the tomb, they saw a young man sitting on the right hand, clothed in a long white robe, and they were amazed. And he says to them, "Do not be amazed. You seek Jesus the Nazarene, the crucified one. He rose. He is not here. Behold the place where they laid him. And go, say to his disciples and Peter that he goes before you to Galilee. There you will see him, as he said to you." And having come forth quickly, they fled from the tomb, and trembling in amazement had seized them. And they said to no one anything, for they were afraid. And he, having risen in the morning of the first of the week, appeared first to Mary the Magdalene, out of whom he had cast 7 demons. She, having gone, told those who had been with him, mourning and weeping. And they, having heard that he is alive and was seen by her, did not believe. Today's reading from the Psalms, chapter 37, verses 15 through 21. Their sword enters their own heart, and their bows are shattered. Better is the little of the righteous than the store of many wicked. For the arms of the wicked are shattered, and Yahweh is sustaining the righteous. Yahweh knows the days of the perfect, and their inheritance is for all time. They are not ashamed in a time of evil, and they are satisfied in days of famine. But the wicked perish, and the enemies of Yahweh have been consumed as the preciousness of lambs, they have been consumed in smoke. The wicked is borrowing and does not repay, and the righteous is gracious and giving. Today's reading from the Psalms, chapter 7, verses 17 through 18. I sprinkled my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, we are filled with love until the morning. We delight ourselves in loves.
Your carcasses fall in this wilderness, even all your numbered ones. You do not come into the land except Caleb son of Jephunneh and Joshua son of Nun. But the wicked perish, and the enemies of Yahweh, they have been consumed in smoke. The wicked is borrowing and does not repay, and the righteous is gracious and giving.
I sprinkled my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, we are filled with love until the morning. We delight ourselves in loves.